Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we are looking at something that might just tear the off-road community right down the middle. You have the purists who think if it doesn't smell like gasoline, it isn't a Jeep. And then you have the futurists who want torque, silence, and tech. Well, meet the peace treaty, or maybe the war declaration. This is the all-new 2026 Jeep Recon. Now look at this thing. It is undeniably a Jeep, but it's like a Wrangler that went to the future and came back with a gym membership. It's not replacing the Wrangler, but it is the brand's first fully electric trail-rated SUV. It's built on the STLA large platform, and honestly, it looks tough. Let's start with the exterior because that's where the identity crisis usually happens with EVs. Jeep nailed the boxy proportions. Up front, you've got the iconic 7-slot grille, but here's the twist. It's illuminated. The grille rings light up. Some of you might think that's a bit gimmicky. I think it looks sharp at night. It's flanked by these U-shaped LED daytime running lights that give it a really aggressive stare. Down at the corners, especially on this Moab trim, you're looking at standard 33-inch all-terrain tires. They give it a solid stance. The ground clearance sits at about 9.4 inches. Is that Wrangler Rubicon height? Not quite, but for an EV, it's impressive. The approach and departure angles are 34 and 34.5 degrees respectively. It's designed to climb. But here is the coolest party trick of the exterior. The doors. Just like a Wrangler, you can take them off. But unlike a Wrangler, you don't need a toolkit. The doors, the rear quarter glass, and the swing gate glass all come off without a single wrench. You just pull some e-release handles and boom. Open air freedom in minutes. That is a game changer for anyone who hates fumbling with torque spits on a trail. Moving to the interior, Jeep is trying to balance rugged with eco-friendly. You won't find animal leather here. The seats and dash use recycled materials and a synthetic leather called Capri. Does it feel premium? It feels durable. It's scuff-resistant, which you want in a car you might fill with mud. The floor mats are rubberized and ready for a hose down. The layout is classic Jeep, horizontal and upright. There's a massive passenger grab handle on the dash because, trust me, with the power this thing has, your passenger is going to need it. A fun little detail? There is a modular accessory rail right on top of the dashboard. You can mount a GoPro, a GPS, or yes, even a duck holder. Jeep knows their audience. Let's talk technology. This cabin is dominated by screens. You have a 12.3-inch digital driver cluster and a huge 14.5-inch center touchscreen running Uconnect 5. It's fast, it's bright, and it's wireless for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But the real gem for you off-roaders is the Trails Off-Road app. It's built right in, giving you guides to trails across the US and Canada, complete with pitch and roll mapping. However, not everything is perfect inside. If you are a fan of physical buttons for everything, you might be annoyed that the climate controls are largely digital now, though you do get physical knobs for volume and tuning. What about cargo? Since there's no engine up front, you get a frunk. It's about 3.0 cubic feet, enough for a carry-on suitcase or your charging cables. Around the back, the classic swing gate opens up to reveal 65.9 cubic feet of space if you fold the second row down. It is roomy, boxy, and usable. Now, the part you guys care about, performance. This is where the Recon separates itself from the gas guzzlers. It is powered by 2 electric drive modules, one on each axle. The numbers are ridiculous. We are talking 650 horsepower and 620 pound-feet of torque. And because it's electric, that torque is instant. You put your foot down, and this brick of an SUV hits 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.6 to 3.7 seconds. That is faster than a lot of sports cars. The top speed tops out around 112 miles per hour, but honestly, in a boxy SUV, you don't want to go much faster than that. The Moab trim adds an electronic locking rear differential. You can switch from an open diff to fully locked with a button. It also has a rock mode in the select terrain system. This is interesting. It changes the throttle mapping so you can one-pedal drive over boulders. It holds the vehicle steady on massive inclines without you touching the brake. It takes the stress out of technical crawling. But we have to talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the battery in the floor. Fuel and range. This is the bad part of the review for many of you. Jeep estimates the range on the Moab trim is around 250 miles, maybe pushing 280 miles on less aggressive trims. For city driving, that's fine. For an overlanding trip deep into the woods, that is anxiety-inducing. It runs on a 400-volt architecture. It's decent, but it's not the ultra-fast 800-volt charging we see on some Korean EVs. You're looking at a standard fast charge to get you back on the road, but if you are towing or off-roading, that range is going to drop significantly. You really need to plan your adventures around that battery percentage. Speaking of towing, can it haul? It's rated for around 3,300 pounds. That's decent for a small camper or a jet ski, but don't expect to haul a massive toy hauler with this. It's roughly comparable to a 4-door Wrangler, but again, towing kills EV range, so keep that in mind. On the safety front, Jeep packed this thing. It has over 170 standard safety features. You get the usual blind spot monitoring, pedestrian braking, and adaptive cruise control. It feels modern and safe for a family hauler. Finally, let's talk pricing. This is not a cheap toy. Production starts early next year, and while official MSRPs are always subject to change, you can expect the Recon to start right around $66,995, basically $67,000. That puts it in direct competition with high-end Wranglers and other luxury EV SUVs. So here's the verdict. The 2026 Jeep Recon is a beast. It's fast, it looks incredible, and the open-air experience with no tools is a massive win. But the range is the limiting factor. If you love day trips to the trail and want to blast 0 to 60 on the way home in silence, this is your car. If you want to disappear into the wilderness for a week, you might still want that gas can. I want to know what you guys think. Is 250 miles enough for a Jeep? Or is the lack of an engine a deal breaker for you? Drop a comment below, I read all of them. Thanks for watching, drive safe, and I'll see you in the next one.